So, okay, the HIV situation in the Philippines in the 1990s was really a problem because at that time we were like, because of commercial, basically it was a commercial sex worker driven epidemic, much like in Thailand. But what the government did in that period, Secretary at the time, Juan Flavier, was to promote condoms and, basically pull out all of these women who have HIV and start talking about this publicly. So making HIV and condom use, a part of the mainstream discussion. It's not in the periphery anymore. It was like a mainstream thing, and that promoted condom use quite well. And experts would tell you that is why the HIV epidemic at the time was controlled because of the condom promotion. And now we're seeing a shift in the epicenter of the crisis. We're now looking at a situation where more and more a great majority of those who are infected with HIV are men who have sex with men. And not only that, these are men who have sex with men who are getting younger and younger. So we're talking about 15, 24, 25 years old. So 82 to 83% now of new infections are occurring among men who have sex with men, and about 62% are very young people. And that's a problem. So you have a situation where the government did not shift its strategy in addressing the problem. It stuck to the old model of, basically, no, it didn't. No, it didn't stick to the old model. In fact, it stopped promoting condoms. And so that's what we're trying to do now is what we're trying to ask the government is to really, launch a national condom promotion campaign targeting the men who have sex with men, this key affected population. Because what we have in our hands right now is an epidemic that needs to be addressed as an epidemic. It's a public health crisis. The government's response to the HIV crisis was, I would say, hampered by conservative elements in Philippine society, led by the Catholic Church. There's always this pushback. There's always this opposition to condoms by the Catholic Church, by conservative lawmakers, and that is a problem. That's why you see the Department of Health, you see the Department of Education not too willing to promote condoms to address the problem, and that's really at the heart of this. So aside from not promoting condoms, there's this absence of, almost total lack of sex education, specifically absence of education on safe sex, let alone HIV and condom use. And you have this double whammy of lack of education and lack of condom promotion, and then you have an epidemic in your hand as a result. And then there's also this question of there are certain laws and issuances or policies by the government that act as barriers to condom access. And this is something that we documented in the report. A lot of people with HIV are hesitant to buy condoms because of this. They don't want to be ridiculed in pharmacies or drugstore or 7-Eleven convenience stores, because a lot of times they are being ridiculed by sales clerks and all the others. And it's not it's not a very nice environment especially for men who have sex with men, especially with LGBT people. First one is, again, the National Condom Promotion Program. It has to have a program that promotes condom use specifically among MSMs, because they're the ones that are affected heavily. Second is the enforcement or the implementation of a comprehensive sexuality education that doesn't just talk about the birds and the bees and all that stuff, but also on how young people, especially young people, high school students, could protect themselves from sexually transmitted infections, particularly HIV. And second, the government has to amend certain laws. One of them, the reproductive health law, needs to be studied again, because there's a provision there that requires parental consent. If you're under 18 and you want to buy condom, you need a parental consent. And if you want to be tested for HIV and you're under 18, you need a parental consent. So the age law also needs to be amended. And also the government needs to address this problem in some cities in the Philippines, like there are two we documented in the report. One is Sorsogon and Balanga City, where local governments have enacted policies and ordinances that effectively bans the sale and the distribution of reproductive health commodities and services such as condoms. Those things need to be addressed. And you know, while the government says, the Department of Health says, and also the bishops say that parents need to take a more active role in promoting sexuality education and even, as responsible sex, we think that by and large that would be like passing the buck to the parents. The problem right now, especially among the MSM, is so big, it's so huge that you can't just, let the parents deal with this. It takes a concerted, relentless, well-funded effort by the government to deal with this problem. And obviously parents are just part of it. Yeah. But the government needs to be, the lead actor in all of this.
All right. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.